fairly detailed look at a solar generator system. It's the one that I use, it's the one that I favor, and I would encourage you to take. There are huge advantages in having a solar powered generator. Most of that you'll see on the video. So sit back, grab a cuppa, enjoy. No preparedness strategy is complete without a power source to run your base camp or the place where you're going to be staying. In my opinion, nothing is better than the GoalZero Yeti400. The 400 indicates approximately 400 watts of output power. The Yeti400 is, for all intents and purposes, a big battery. The difference is that this battery can be charged and run by solar panels as well as by AC input. I've stress tested this particular device in power outages at home and running base camp while camping for a week. I have to say that this makes either being homeless for a while very comfortable, camping very comfortable, and takes a lot of stress out of being in the dark or not when you have power failures for whatever reason. There are several of these types of devices out on the market. You can find them at survival stores, at some outdoor stores. GoalZero as a brand has other smaller devices available. Frankly, I wouldn't waste my money. It's just extra weight with very little benefit. Because what you want is you want the ability to have your power in the same day that you need it, and you want your device to be charged. And this is your power supply as well as whatever devices you plugged in. Let me take you through the control panel on this device. Here is the input charging port. Right now it's hooked up to a solar panel that has 30 watts of input potential. This is your control center. This is a really nice feature because it tells you how many watts are coming in from the charge and how many watts are going out. Do the math. If you have more watts coming in than watts going out, then your power supply is continuing to charge, and that's what you want to see. If you see the reverse, you have more output watts than you have input watts, then your power supply is being depleted, and at some point you're going to have to really disconnect some of your devices and let your power supply recharge. But if the difference is not severe, it will be a day or two before you'll need to worry about that. Right now, as you can see, and I'll zoom in on this in a minute, I've gone from 22 watts input down to 19, which says that the device, the battery, the generator, solar generator if you want to call it that, is charging and getting almost full charge. It's not a lot of demand coming from the solar panels. I'll show you what happens when I start plugging things in. Here is a little button to, at night or when it's a little darker, you can push that, and this control panel has a backlight that you can see. Everything down here are output ports. Those are things that you can plug stuff into. These two are proprietary to GoalZero. I'll show you what some of those devices might look like. This is your standard 12 volt that you can plug in, the same thing you plug into any thing in a car, and it will run anything. These are two USB output ports, so you can run two USB driven devices. and you have two AC output ports. Now you can also plug in a power strip to this, but you really need to pay attention to output at that point, because you can run out of these but not put a drain on your output wattage, and that's where having a power strip might come in handy. So this is your input. It's either solar or AC. Is output. Two proprietary devices, one 12-volt, two USB, and two AC. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 devices can be powered from this. I'll give you some examples in a minute. What I have here plugged into one of the USB slots is my earpiece power supply. This by itself is a small charger. It's now getting charged from the power supply, and it in turn is also charging the earpiece, and you can see that by the little red light. I hope you can see that from here. Yeah, there's a little red light which indicates that the earpiece is being charged. So this is my Bluetooth earpiece for my phone. So we'll leave that plugged in. The next device to be plugged into USB is my cell phone. And between this device and that device, I'm only drawing 5 watts output, and I'm getting 10 watts, about 19 watts input. Some of that is a function of drawdown on the power supply. The point is that I could run it like this all day and never discharge the power supply, and both devices would remain fully charged. I'm a real fan of rechargeable tools, and in this case this is my Streamlight flashlight, and it is rechargeable, and this is the recharging docking station for it. Now I've just plugged that into the 12-volt receptacle here, and I'll turn the 12-volt receptacle on, and we only have still 7 watts approximately output, and we're getting 3 watts input right now. That's because of the tree shadows. So I'm not worried that we're going to have a voltage input deficit. So I've got my headphone, my cell phone, and now my flashlight all being recharged. I use rechargeable 1, 2, 3s in all of my tools that require 1, 2, 3 batteries. This one is from Tenergy, and the only place I've been able to find these and the charger that comes with it is at Batteries Plus. This way you don't have to have boxes and boxes of 1, 2, 3s. So I'm able to power my my other lights, my lights on my rifle, and all of the other tools that require the 1, 2, 3 type batteries. Since this charger for the 1, 2, 3 Tenergy charger is AC, I'm going to plug it into the AC port and then turn the AC port on, and it will start charging. Right now these batteries show green, so that means that they are charged, but I'll just leave it in here for now. What's important to note is that I have now 10 watts of output and a couple of watts of input, which means my solar panels are pretty much covered by the shadow. I could go move it, but I'll just leave it the way it is because I want you to see what happens when it's under full sunlight again. So what do I have? I have input from solar panel, 12-volt excuse me, charging my flashlight, USB charging my earpiece, USB charging my cell phone, one AC port charging my rechargeable battery device. We're back in the sun with the solar panel, and I have 10 watts of output charging all of these things that I have here, and I have 18 watts of input. So I have a positive difference, which means I will continue to charge this power supply. It is not discharging, so I can charge these things and run these things until they're fully charged and just leave them in there. I don't have to worry about depleting my, solar generator here. As I said, everything I have has rechargeable batteries. These happen to be rechargeable AAAs. And this same recharger will recharge AA's. So I can get, not at the same time of course, but I can get 4 AAA's or 4 AA's charged. This is made by Rayovac, and you can get them at Home Depot, Lowe's, the usual suspects. And one of the things I like about this, it has a fold-down AC prong. Ah, crap! It can't fit because this is in the way. Man, what am I going to do about that? Well, fortunately for me, I have my handy-dandy fold-up 4-port to on this side power strip. So I get to plug my 123 recharger into one of these receptacles, and then I can plug this into another. And now I'm good to go. So as you can see, this is charging. The green light doesn't mean they are fully charged, it just means that it's working. On this device, when the lights go out, that means that the batteries are fully charged. So what have I got going on here? I've got a rechargeable flashlight, I've got my cell phone, I've got my earpiece, I've got my 123, and I've got my AAA or my other regular battery charger. But I'm a power user, so there's one thing missing. I was missing one of the most important things in my arsenal, my electronic arsenal, and that's my Microsoft Surface Pro. Don't leave home without it. So I'm going to plug this puppy in. I've had it out all morning. Let's see what that does. Okay, my computer is plugged in, and we now have output total of 23 watts and input of 16. But we still don't have full impact of sunlight on the solar panels yet. Now all that means is everything will continue to charge, and as things fully charge up, there'll be less and less output watts draw, and there'll be more and more input solar, and this power supply or solar generator, if you want to call it that, will be fully charged. Not bad. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. Everything, almost everything I care about is in here. Oh man, I knew I forgot something. I hate being in the dark. I really hate being in the dark. That's why I got a lot of flashlights. And if you're in a tent or you have a power failure and you're in your house and you're trying to get that Netflix movie because you got everything charged into here, right? It would be nice to have some light. Well, GoalZero takes care of that. These are called Light Alive lights, and they're LED. They're very powerful, bright LED lights. And I've used these for like a week. They're not self-chargeable. These things have to be plugged in, and I'm going to show you how that works in a second. As I said earlier, GoalZero makes several accessories, and they require a proprietary input plug, and they go right here in the proprietary port. And once they're in, you get light, as you can see. This is way cool. You can see how bright that is. And at night, it's very, very nice. So now what do I have? I got all kinds of light, flashlight, recharging batteries, cell phone, earpiece, and my laptop. And we're doing 25 watts of output now with 16 watts of input. So we're going to let that go for a minute and see. I'm going to turn the lights off and see what difference it makes. Okay, if I turn the two lights off, it goes down to 19 watts with 17 in. So we're starting to get some good sunlight again. Are you excited yet? You've got to get one of these. What I thought I'd show you in addition is this GoalZero lantern. It is self-contained. It does not charge from the proprietary receptacle. It charges from a regular AC charging port, and it also will run USB out, so it will charge a cell phone or some other small USB device. This is very nice right here. Just has regular on-off for USB down here. Now, the good part about this is that it will also hand crank the charge. So about, I don't know what the rate is, but it's just a few cranks and you've got 15 minutes of light in this thing if you need it. I keep this available as well. The type of light it has is regular LEDs. This is pretty bright at night. Very comfortable, nice to have in a tent or just something to carry around in the house. And then it has an emergency strobe for the red lights at the top. So this can be very versatile. It's not that expensive, and it rounds out the light strategy with your GoalZero solar generator. Okay, so I wouldn't be cheating. What I just did is I turned my tablet PC on. See, before it was just had some of its battery depleted and was just being charged up. Now I've turned it on, so it's working on the Wi-Fi, all that good stuff. And even with that, I'm at 27 watts output and still 17 input. So the difference of 10, if you do the math, 400 watts, you're going to be about 40 hours before this power supply or solar cell depletes. Highly unlikely. That's 2 days. A small package like this gives you a lot of capability and a lot of peace of mind for both emergency situations, being prepared, prepping in general, and if you're just out having fun, this thing doesn't weigh that much. You can just carry it around. I carry this in the car all the time, just in case. And I enjoy not having to worry. Am I going to have power? If I have power failure in the house, which happens, I will go and get this out and we'll plug in the important things like our laptops and continue watching Netflix, right? Okay. I cheated again. What I decided to do, which I hadn't planned to do, my video camera, which was out on the tripod outside, was down to about 50% of its internal battery. So I thought, well, let me just plug it in and see what happens. And as you can see, we're getting still only 31 watts of output, 18 watts of input. And that's charging a video camera, which is probably one of them, between this and my tablet, one of the most high power draws out there. My point is, you can have your stuff, the things that you need to be functional, and not have to worry about power. You really need to check this out. The GoalZero Yeti400. This thing is about $480 retail. You might get a discount somewhere. The only one that I would consider better than that is the Yeti400. It's over $1,000. It'll run a small refrigerator and those kind of things. I don't need to worry about that. But for what I do and most of the things that I need to do This thing takes care of it really well. I don't know about you, but many times when I go camping, car camping, rather than backpacking, you're in the campground, and then all of a sudden some yahoos fire up those god-awful things they call generators. And I don't know who lied to them, but they're not quiet. And then the ones that are fairly old, you might as well go and ask them for a beer, because you're not going to get any sleep that night. The beauty of a solar-powered generator is there is no noise. And you can run all your stuff, as I've showed you here, without worrying about irritating your neighbor. As you can see, the input and output, we have 12 watts of output and 18 watts of input from the solar panels now. I have disconnected my tablet because I need to take it inside, but the video camera is still connected to the solar generator. I'm now going to unplug the video camera so you can see the difference it makes in the output balance. So it's now unplugged. So you've got 8 watts of output now for everything else that's connected to this, and 18 watts. So this thing is charging. It has never gone below 90%, and it's been like this for 2 hours. I'm going to take you and show you how the solar panels fit in this. These are the solar panels. There are 2. These are the Boulder 15. They're solid. They don't fold up. There's 2, and they're clipped together. 15 stands for 15 watts capability for each one. I have them clipped together to form a 2-panel power input system. GoalZero makes their panels so that they can be chained together. So as you can see here, this connects to the chain in on this panel, and I can connect another one chain in, and you can have up to 4, a maximum of 4 of these Boulder 15 panels chained together for a total of 60 watts. Now that's a lot. So as you can see, just from what I had plugged in here, with 30 watts of input from the panel, or capable from the panel, I had a lot going on. So with 60 watts into this, the Yeti400, you could run a lot of stuff off of that. This is the clip that clips the 2 together. You can just unclip it and they can come apart. I keep them together because they fit nicely in the back of my SUV on the side. So it's a perfect fit. If I went to 2 more panels, it would be a little challenging to find space inside the back of the truck that was convenient. They have there's 2 clips, and then they have the little little doodah so you can keep your cord squared away. The amount of cord that comes with it is not sufficient, so in almost every case you'll have to get an extension that plugs in. Otherwise, this would be the end that goes into the Yeti400. This extension allows the solar panels to be outside in the sun, and the Yeti400 can be inside the tent or inside your car or wherever you are. So you don't have to have the solar generator out in the weather. So that's a complete system. The GoalZero Yeti400 with the Boulder 15 solar panel